What's up, guys? I wanted to thank Share My Aircraft for sponsoring this video.
Share My Aircraft is an amazing website that allows a pilot to list his or her airplane, complete with pictures and videos, in order to find another like-minded, highly qualified pilot to share their plane with them. Lots of pilots have been doing this for years. It's something we do on bulletin boards or forums, but this is a central hub now that's created to make it easy for a pilot to add videos, pictures, to actually specify qualifications. So they could say, I only want an instrument-rated pilot flying my plane, or he's got 500 hours in type. And then it makes it easy for a pilot seeking an airplane, because the system uses geolocation. It knows where all the planes are around you, and you can filter it and say, show me all the Cirruses that are available, show me all the Cessnas that are available. So it's really robust and really interesting. In addition, flight instructors are listed on the site. You can tag a bunch of local airports and say, anytime a plane becomes available at my local airport, I'd like to see it. Thank you, Share My Aircraft, for sponsoring this video. We really appreciate it. Here we go. So today I'm going to do a review of the Garmin AERA 660. It's a handheld I use probably more than anything else. I find it indispensable in the airplane. Probably flown with it now for about 250 hours. And what was really frustrating is when I was looking for a handheld, and specifically focused in on the AERA 660, I couldn't find anything on YouTube that was more than unboxing it and what comes in the box and what the inputs are, and really useless information for me to make a decision as to what I can expect when I use this in actual flight. So I thought I would do a quick overview of the 660 and maybe go a little bit in depth in some of the features that I use the most. I'll also throw in some footage from actual flying, but keep in mind that the Husky has no autopilot aside from this right here, and it gets a little bit difficult to film and fly and show features, so that might be a little limited, but we'll try our best to go over some of the most important functionality. Hopefully give you a better idea of what the unit is like if you're considering buying it. So thanks for watching, and let's get right into it. Okay, so I'm not going to show you how to unbox it. You can go to Sporties and look at their video as to what comes in the box and what you get. You turn it on, and let's do that. Let's actually turn it off. And it's a very small unit. I mean, literally, handheld is very accurate. That's my iPhone. So compared to an iPhone, it's literally the size of an iPhone 7 Plus. And you'll see the latest software version is 3.5, which is correct. And what it does initially is it tells you the databases that you have in there, the charts and terrain and AOPA directory, and when they expire. And you just say, okay, mine are all up to date. And you turn it on. Shows you your databases. Once you're hit accept on a database, you can look at your main menu, which starts with maps, en route charts, 3D vision, which is really nice, nearest airport, which is great in an emergency, waypoints, flight plan list, active flight plan, so the actual flight plan you have set up and activated, nearby traffic, there's no data right now, and terrain, weather, and various GPS informations and tools. So let's go to maps right now. So essentially, as it sounds, this is a map of where we are. We're at 377 feet, sitting in my office. And what's nice about this unit is everything's touchscreen. So just like you're used to on your smartphone or iPad, you can move around with pinching and
closing, and right now you'll see there's weather there. So it's picked up weather, and right now the weather it's picked up is through the internet because we're inside. It does have satellite signal, so it knows where we are. So essentially on the map page, you hit return, you go right back. You can set up various fields that can be changed just by going in menu and change data fields, and you can literally touch them and say I'd rather have wind speed and ETA to destination than VNAV time. But these are the fields I've set up right now. So this gives you an overview of where you are. This is not a VFR or IFR map capability, and you can choose IFR maps, but it's not the actual charts, but that's okay. So let's go back in here and let's go menu and let's go back to a VFR map. You can animate the weather, which is nice if you're doing a lot of weather flying, so you can basically see direction. I actually go to a completely separate page for weather, and let's see what comes in here when you animate the weather. And actually things respond very fast. It's very smooth. And there's some animation down there. I'm not sure exactly why it's cutting out like that. Let's go back to menu and don't animate the weather. So that's your map page. And you have all your key data points and information on this page. Now we can go to an en route chart page. And by the way, the map page will do either north up or track up. So when you're flying it, I use track up. So essentially right now it's north up because we're not in the airplane or moving. Let's go to en route charts. So en route charts will only do north up. So this is kind of an overview as to where you're going, and I think let's do this. We go direct on any screen. You can hit direct. Let's put in Martha's Vineyard. Hit enter and activate, and now you have a route to Martha's Vineyard. Let's push on Martha's Vineyard, and you can get all kinds of airport information. So let's look at the weather now. Martha's Vineyard, this is really, really nice. So in the airplane you actually have METARs, weather, and this is all ADS-B. So obviously ADS-B has some restrictions as compared to satellite weather, but I've found no issues with this whatsoever, unless you're a little low, and you're very rarely low for a long time. So as you can see, you get the full METAR in English. Winds from 0 to 0, 14 gust 20, which is pretty typical for Martha's Vineyard. Clouds broken at 16, broken at 23, and you can scroll up and take a look at the station this is out of. Terminal forecast. You could look at your runways on Martha's Vineyard. Zoom in, see exactly what you got there, which again is really nice. Zoom in, zoom out. Get all your frequencies right away. Get airport info right away. The altitude at the airport, bearing distance. Any NOTAMs, really nice. AOPA directory, which is terrific. You can literally go in and get additional information, phone numbers, restaurants, services. Chart is great. So here's a chart of the airport. Gives you exactly what you're looking for, and remember, in the air, you're getting all this information in the air. You can see your approach procedures. This is ILS 24. And one thing I should mention, you can actually turn the, I actually taped that down so I wouldn't be moving it a lot. You can change the setup of the screen to portrait versus landscape, which is really great for charts. I use landscape because of the way it's oriented in my airplane, right above the, right on the cockpit. It just works out better that way for me. And we lost satellite reception, which I'm surprised we had it in the first place. So this is great. If you're a VFR pilot, this is terrific. You got all the information you need, all the airports around you. These are updated every 30 days or so, and you can scroll around and get all the information you need. Any airport along the way you can just tap on and say, okay, Groton, what's going on at Groton? What are the frequencies at Groton? What are my clearance frequencies? What are the runways at Groton? What's the weather? So any way you normally do things, it's right at your fingertips here. Let's hit return. So 3D vision, as I mentioned before, is essentially what it sounds like, and when you're flying it'll give you speed and altitude and orientation. I use this connected to a GDL 39, which I have AERS on mine, so basically if I lose instruments in the plane, this is a great backup. So something to always consider. At any given time you can hit nearest. It'll tell you what the nearest airports are. Oxford Airport is 3.6, 3.7 miles from us in Connecticut, and it shows you the bearing, and this is wrong because it doesn't know exactly how we're situated, but these airports are all the nearest airports, and you can literally say, okay, I lost an engine, that one works for me, direct, activate, and there you go. You'll get a direct bearing to, in this case, CT52. Let's go back in here at any given moment, and let's put in 1 Bravo 9. So as you can see, you have the ability to put things in on the fly and activate. And this is just direct to. So what if you set up a flight plan? So right now this gives us our closest waypoint and flight plan list. Now I have flight plans in here. Let's see if I have one going to activate. So this is a flight plan from Oxford Airport to Leesburg, Virginia. And as you can see, I've put in my various waypoints. If I go to the map, it shows me my flight plan. All the various airports around, you know, everything I could want. And again, that can be track up, so it's more natural as opposed to north up. So let's say activate flight plan. The flight plan's already activated. What's nice about this is the connect feature, so you can actually transfer flight plans between your iPhone. I actually use Garmin Pilot on my iPhone, and I use the Garmin watch, which is great because the moment you take off with the Garmin watch, it starts logging your flight. And speaking of logging flights, so let's take a look here for a moment. Flight log. So under tools, you can go to setup. Obviously lets you set up units and sounds, and you can change almost everything on the all the parameters. You can add user waypoints. Willow Creek is a waypoint for me. Your flight log is literally logged automatically, and you can, you know, update them with correct information. So this was a flight to New Hampshire, and 1 hour and 26 minutes. And let's see, this was just a local flight, so it shows you the track. So here I think I did 10 touch and goes, and there's the track, and there's the time, which is really helpful. You can add in weight and balance information. I don't find that useful. VNAV profiles, you could tell it to notify you at any particular altitude. I use 1,000 feet above the waypoint, so I want to know 3 miles before a particular waypoint and have a 500 feet per minute descent rate to 1,000 feet above the waypoint. So you can change everything you'd like to change in there. Track log, I don't have any saved track logs, and that's all under tools. GPS info is basically telling you, you know, what the quality of your GPS signal is right now, and showing you your position, which is accurate. Terrain is obviously similar to any other terrain functionality. It's showing you what's ahead and what doesn't look good. And what's nice about this unit is if there's any problems, it will alert you visually and through sound. And so sound is great because you can actually connect to this via Bluetooth, and it looks like I'm connected right now, although I'm not sure what I'm connected to, probably my cell phone. So you can get sounds. I think I connect my light speed 3 to the unit, and it'll give you warnings and terrain warnings. So let's go back to active flight plan. So again, you can go on the menu, you can edit this flight plan right on the map. So if I want to go to the map and I want to fly over New York, I could literally edit this. So let's go to menu, graphically edit flight plan. I could just move this and say, okay, we're going to get clearance over the Class B. And let's just say Caldwell, and there you go. And I think I set up a entry into Leesburg, because you have to fly under the Washington Class B, and there's all kinds of restrictions, and you can come into Leesburg a different way. And you can save the flight plan and just hit save. So I'm just going to hit return and go back and not save that. Yeah, Sparta's VOR I use often just to stay away from the Class B over Manhattan. But Manhattan controllers are fantastic. New York City controllers, they're great. You know, they'll often give you a clearance right through. I should say often, depending on the time of day, depending on what right through means. For me, it's like the edge, so it's no big deal. Okay, let's see what else. So, as I said, on the maps, you can set up your own fields, which is really helpful. On route charts, you can also set up your own fields. And this can be a VFR chart, or this can be an IFR chart. So I can do IFR low. And this is an actual updated IFR chart, which is pretty cool. 3D vision, you can also change this to round gauges if you'd like. I actually prefer steam gauges. Even after flying the Cirrus for years, I still love 6-packs. Nearest airports, pretty self-explanatory. Waypoints, around you, closest waypoints. Flight plan lists, you can store your flight plans. So for right now, if we want to just activate Oxford to, oh, what's this one? Let's see, activate this. I think this was on the way, no, that's Orange County. So again, that's activated. Look at your flight plan to Orange County. All the pertinent information there, 48 nautical miles away. And let's see, active flight plan, it'll give you all your particular legs, fuel requirements. You put in your speeds and your expected burn rate. That way you'll have all the information you need. Traffic, now this is great. And I use this often, you know, I generally get flight following, but traffic is something that is, you know, ADS-B traffic and FISB traffic. And basically you'll see all the various planes around you, and you can extend the range, and you can decrease the range. And it's very useful, and it's a nice feature. And weather, this is great. So weather is kind of an overview of the entire area, and it's purely weather, and you can tell it what you want to see. Do you want to see METARs? You want to see composite or base radar? Composite tends to be a composite of all the different flight levels of precipitation, while base is generally what's been falling on the ground. So it gives you a little bit more of an indication. So now you have all your METARs up. You can push a button and get a METAR from any airport. And this is a really nice feature when you're flying and there's potentially weather and you have to go into that weather. You can check the METARs on the ground and see, you know, what kind of precipitation it is. Because, so again, you can scroll around here. Get METARs at every airport. And remember, you're getting this in the air. That's what the most important part about this is. Right now on the ground we're connected to the internet, but in the air you're getting this through the ground broadcasts, and that is pretty special. So again, this is the weather menu, and you can decide, you know, what products. Let's take off METARs and just keep weather on there. And let's see here. Yeah, we can animate the weather. And the data source, switching it to automatic basically means that it'll pick whatever it can find. You can either get the GDL FISB, which is the GDL39 I have, or the internet, and in this case it's automatic because I'm inside. And that's a great point. The GDL is not just for you know, heads-up display and AHRS. It's also your main source of ADS-B weather, and that has to be linked to this. So if you look at tools and you go to setup and you go to Bluetooth, you'll see that this will connect automatically to my phone, which is now connected to, but it'll also connect automatically to the GDL39. And you need a GDL39 or some type of source to get weather and METARs on this device. And I don't remember what I paid for this. I think it was about $800. And I think they have come down now. But really terrific device. You know, and one of the nicest features is it's super bright. It is nothing like an iPhone or an iPad in the sun. It is super bright, and you can see how clear this is. It's just as bright in the sun. Let's see if I've forgotten anything else here. GPS info, we did that. Traffic, we did that. Let me just see. Traffic has failed, yeah, because we don't have... You know, we would actually get traffic if I were near the window, because other airplanes are broadcasting traffic via the ADS-B system, so you would actually be able to see that, which is pretty cool. Okay, there's your map. There's your IFR map. Let's switch that to a. Let's get out of here. Resume navigation. Let's switch that to a VFR map. Again, you can change the data fields and just tap on them and say, okay, you know, which one do I want to use here? So you have a lot of flexibility. Nearest. And let's just see. So, yeah, I hope this gives you a better idea what the unit is like. I will put a link on the website so you can learn more about the unit, the old E6B. Oh, and there are multiple ways to update the unit. I plug it right into the computer and go to Fly Garmin, and you have an account with them. And I forgot what that costs, but it allows you to download every month. You can also download via the internet, which is nice if you're on the road. It takes a lot longer, but if you are on the road and you don't have your computer there, or you're in a hotel room, you can figure out how to connect it. So I thought I'd finish the video outside just to show you how bright the display really is. Zoom in a little bit there. This is not a super bright day right now, but you know, you can see how clear this picture is. And that is just, you know, one of the things that is so impressive about the screen. So, let's see, what else can I tell you? Well, we have a little glare here, so I'm going to try and... I think that sums up about that. I will do a part 2 of this video from the airplane, just to show what it's like when you're actually using it in the airplane, and you know, have some live data going on, which is always interesting. So if you want to see that, please subscribe and hit the bell, and you will get notified of that video. And yeah, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope this is helpful for you. I tell you, I could have certainly used a review of this unit prior to buying it. And I do have to tell you, one nice thing about Garmin in general is that they have constant updates, and all the new updates have new features and that are, you know, terrific. And I just saw one actually. So if you look at Windsor Comet, Oxford Airport, of course, I was going to say, if you're looking for wind direction and, let's see, runway. So here, this is really nice. Wind, runway 8, 2 knots and 2 knots crosswind, runway 26, 2 knots and 2 knots crosswind. And so it basically tells you, you know, what the winds are on the runway, what the best runway to use is. That's a new feature. That is all I can tell you. Stand by for part 2 of this when we do a live video from the air. And it'll be a lot shorter. Let's see what terrain looks like. There we go. So that's terrain right now based on where we are. We got a lot of red around us because we are low. Get rid of topo shading. And let's get rid of terrain. Alright, well again, thanks for watching, and subscribe and ring that bell and you'll be notified of the next video. Thank you so much.